or simple effective cards, why not use Emboss Resist? I'm using some of the new Catherine Pooler Designs Winter Wonders stamps and dies to create this beautiful Christmas card. Stay tuned to the end of the video because I'll show you a sneak peek of another card that's using some simple stamping as well. I'm Verity and welcome to my YouTube channel and blog Pretty Little Button, where I make paper crafting tutorials for the everyday crafter. These beautiful scrolling snowflakes come in the new winter release. You can either get them as part of a bundle or you can buy them individually. It also comes with a coordinating die set as well, but I'm just using the stamps today. In addition, I've got this Cheerful greetings stamp set with these beautiful sentiments, perfect for any size cards. So I've got a piece of white cardstock here and I've gone for the really bold greetings stamp set, and I'm just playing about at the position of where I want it on my card so I can work out where I want to stamp it. Now I've placed the cardstock in my MISTI and then I'm just inking up that sentiment with blackjack ink. I'm stamping this down onto the card several times just to get a good impression, because this is the first time I've actually used the stamp. I haven't conditioned it at all. But of course with Catherine Pooler inks it stamps lovely. Now I want to do a bit of ink blending and masking, so I have just trimmed down a piece of masking paper about just a bit wider than the actual greeting sign, and then I'm just adhering that down over the top just to protect it because I want to highlight the greeting and keep it in place. Now I do change my card as I go along, and I keep this process in because I want to show you how I involve my card and change it. Now I'm going to do some heat embossing with the snowflakes, so I'm just prepping my card panel with some anti-static powder because I do handle my card panels a lot. I get my fingerprints everywhere, so I use anti-static powder just to eliminate those fingerprints. In addition, I've added a temporary handle with a scrap piece of card and some temporary adhesive just to the back of the panel so that I can handle it when I'm adding the embossing powder and stamping. So I'm placing my scrolling snowflakes onto some acrylic blocks, and then I'm just stamping these down in different areas of where I want to position them. Now I'm doing this with embossing ink, so I'm using my Wow Clear Ultra Slow Drying Embossing Ink. This is really great because it's slow drying. I can stamp several different snowflakes down, take my time, and I've not got to worry that the embossing ink is going to dry and that the embossing powder won't stick to it. So this gives me that wiggle room to be able to play about with the positioning of the stamps. And I'm just allowing some of these to overlap where the masking paper is because again I was using that masking area to create a highlight to the sentiment. And as I said, this card evolves and I change my mind later on, but you can leave it one layered and you don't have to do the steps I do later. So after I have stamped the various snowflakes, I'm covering this in powdered snow embossing glitter from Wow Embossing Powder. This is in the Winter Dreams Trio. And this is a white embossing powder with some glitter in it, some iridescence and silver glitter. Now obviously at the moment it is going to be harder to see these snowflakes because I'm using white on white. But because we do some emboss resist later, those snowflakes are going to appear. Again, it's really hard to show the heat embossing melting with the white on white technique, but I start off from the back to melt the majority of the powder so the glitter sticks in it, and then I just finish it off on the front just to make sure that I have caught every little bit of embossing powder and it has fully melted. If you start from the front to begin with, you will blow off some of the glitter before it's had a chance to melt. Now once I've done that, I'm going back in with the snowflakes and I'm going to do some more embossing but just in a different colour. So exactly the same process, I'm using my acrylic block just to stamp down these snowflakes in the embossing ink. And I don't mind if they overlap each other, it gives a bit of variation and interest. And in nature, snowflakes will overlap each other. Bear in mind though, I'm trying to not overcrowd the area, and because I've already heat embossed the first snowflakes, I can see where they are nice and easily. So I can position them all so it looks aesthetically pleasing. So after I have finished stamping all of those, again I'm covering it this time with metallic rich gold embossing powder in Superfine. Superfine will make sure that it keeps all that beautiful detail in those scrolling snowflakes, which is absolutely stunning. Once I have covered the embossing powder, I can then heat set it. And obviously I need to make sure that I'm moving my heat gun around quite a bit, especially where the snowflakes overlap. I don't want to over emboss the previous snowflakes, and therefore if you move your heat gun around, you're going to prevent that from overheating. So let's go on to some of the Emboss Resists. So I have Tranquil ink here, which is a lovely, lovely soft muted blue. And I'm using a blending brush just to apply this ink off of the masking paper and onto the cardstock. This will bring and highlight the white snowflakes that we've embossed, because the embossing powder will resist that ink. So wherever there is that white powder, it will remain white. I'm doing this Emboss Resist off of that banner because I want to keep that area white, or that's what I initially wanted, to highlight the sentiment. Now I'm going in, I'm having darker colours up at the top, so I'm making sure I'm getting an increased intensity of the Tranquil up the top of the card. I'm allowing it to fade out as it comes down the panel, mimicking the sort of movement that I have those snowflakes across the side of the card. So darker to the right and to the top, and then it's fading out and gently softening towards the bottom left as the snowflakes are falling in that direction. Once I've done Tranquil ink, I'm then going to go in with another colour, and I'm going in with Cove blue. So this is a darker blue than Tranquil. And I'm just darkening up the right hand corner downwards, again mimicking the falling motion of the snowflakes across the card. I wanted to darken this up just to add a bit of intensity and variation, and also allow some of those snowflakes to really, really pop against that dark colour. Just to add a little bit more intensity, I like to go in with a darker colour, more like a black, and I'm using blackjack here. This will just really intensify just the outer edges and really give a little bit more of a finishing touch, more rich and luxurious appeal to it. Very subtle, but it does make a difference. So here's the peel and reveal as I remove the masking tape, and I'm just doing this nice and slowly. I did get a little bit of tearing. I did prep masking tape before I put it on the card by just rubbing it across my clothing just to take some of the stickiness away, but I got a little bit of tearing, and that's why I decided to alter the card design. However, if you don't get any tearing, you can keep it as is. So to repair the damage that I'd done, I just heat embossed the greetings on another piece of cardstock to foam mount onto the front. And I also heat embossed a secondary sentiment from that Cheerful greeting stamp set to add on. Lastly, I'm just embellishing with a few white pearls in the middle of some of the snowflakes and adhering that with liquid adhesive. And I really love how this turned out. It's such a beautiful design with those snowflakes falling down, and with all that metallic embossing and glitter, just really shouts luxury. So I'm just showing you this other card that I created, and I'm not going to do the stamping because it's very, very easy stamping. I just stamped the snowflakes in 3 different inks. So I used Tranquil, Cove blue, and then I used Twilight just to give a bit of depth and dimension to the snowflakes. I stamped the script Cheerful greetings in blackjack ink, and then heat embossed Sending Warm in embossing powder, and it just looks beautiful. Again, I finished this one off with some pearl embellishments in the snowflakes as 2. So this is showing you 2 cards that look ever so slightly different, also have a lovely cohesive look to them. I really, really love how this stamped card turned out, and the Emboss Resist looks stunning with that rich colours, just making those snowflakes pop. So let me know in the comments below which one is your favourite. I'd love to know. And if you're interested in any of today's products, they are listed in the description box below with some affiliate links at no extra cost to you. These products are available in the shop on Wednesday to the general public, and also to StampNation on Tuesday the 9th of November. Don't forget though, you can use this technique with any stamps you have in your stash, so you can get creating straight away. If you're new to my channel, why not think about subscribing and hitting that bell icon so you'll be notified when my next video is up. Until next time, happy crafting!